Welcome back. Today we're going to go through exercise 2 and exercise 3. Last time we introduced Stuck and the Zero Bullshit package and wrote a solution to exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is going to be much easier. It's just an echo server, so whatever we get in as the body of the request, we just have to return as the body of the response. So once again, I still have my stack project from last time, and I still have the solution to exercise 1 that we wrote last time. So all we have to do is add a new handler here, and we don't have to be super verbose as last time. We can just say that this is going to be a handler, and this time we're interested in post requests. The root is going to be echo, and there's going to be some sort of echo handler which we are about to write. Once again, echo handler as this type, so we are given a request and we have to return a response. And this time we are interested in what the request looks like. In the first exercise we didn't really care what the request was, and in fact we can be even more explicit about that and just use an underscore to highlight that we can ignore the request. And here we're going to write our implementation. So we know that if we take a look at the documentation for the Zero Bullshit package and we go in the Zero Server module, we know that there's this request type that somehow describes the request that we get. This type doesn't expose any data constructors, which means we cannot pattern match on a request value, but that's fine because we have helper functions that we can use to get data out of a request. So in this case, we're interested in getting the request body, so we can use the request body helper function. It just takes a request and we get the request body as a string as a result. So again, we know we have to return some sort of string response, and all we have to do is use the request body function, pass it a request, and use that as an argument to the string response function. Again, string response accepts a string and returns a response. So it looks like all of these should compile. And if we run it, go back to our exercise, notice that we expose 2 handlers now. And if we run the tests, everything works. As always, you can check the reference Node.js implementation here if you're unsure how to go about implementing the same code in Haskell. And again, there are issues in the Zero Bullshit Haskell repository where you can ask whatever you want in case something isn't clear. So that's enough for exercise number 2. Let's go ahead and implement a solution for exercise number 3 as well. So this is going to be very similar. We will get a number as a request body, and we just have to provide the same number as a response but spelled out. so as an actual word. And obviously we don't have to cover the, a large set of numbers. We can just care about numbers 1, 2, and 3 for simplicity. And for the sake of it, let's have our tests fail so that we know we're not cheating. And let's go ahead and implement a solution for this exercise as well. So again, the format is going to be very similar. It's going to be a post request to the case root this time. So we can have case handler here. We can copy paste echo handler because it's going to be very similar. What we want to do this time is match on the request and actually change this to be case handler. So we can say case server request body of request is one of these. Then we want to return something specific. So if it's 1, we want to return 1. If it's 2, we want to return 2. And again, the same for 3. The nice thing about GXC is that you have to be exhaustive whenever you pattern match on something. So in this case, we're pattern matching on any possible string, and we can possibly cover all the strings in existence. So we can just return, some random string in case the request body doesn't match what we expect. So something like unexpected number. Now, what we just wrote is not a function from request to a response. It's a function to request to a string, but that's not what we want. We want to hand over the result of this expression to, again, server string response. So we can use a where clause to do that. So if we do server string response of result, and we say that result is defined as this pattern match that we just wrote, this should hopefully compile, and it does, and we can run the binary again, and we can refresh the page and run the test, and it works. Nice. So thanks for tuning in. Again, if something isn't clear, drop a message in the relevant issue, and I'll see you next time.